My child, before the first light stretched across the sky, I saw you. I knew you before the wrinkles graced your face, before your hands bore the weight of decades, before the quiet moments became more frequent than the noisy ones. I saw you then, and I see you now. Not as the world sees you, not as forgotten, not as less useful, not as someone fading into the background. No, I see you as precious, vital, and deeply beloved. You may wonder if your prayers still matter. You sit in your chair, staring out at the trees or the road, whispering my name into the stillness of your room. And sometimes you question whether those whispers are caught by the wind and lost in the heavens. But I tell you now, every word you utter, even those too painful to say aloud, I hear them all. I collect them like treasured pearls. Not one has ever fallen unnoticed. I know there have been seasons in your life when my voice seemed clearer. Perhaps it was when you were younger, when church pews were full, when family gatherings rang with laughter, when your strength felt endless. But now, in the quiet rhythm of your later years, I know how silence can feel heavy. I know the ache of loneliness, the pain of loss, the stillness that settles over a home once filled with life. And yet, I want you to know that silence is not absence. It is sacred space. I do some of my deepest work in the quiet. When others have turned their attention elsewhere, when society rushes past you, when even those you love are distracted or far away, I draw near. I come closer in those silent moments, not to punish or distance, but to sit beside you. I am not far off. I do not shout because I am whispering to your heart. I see you when you press your hand against your chest and ask, "How much longer, Lord?" I see you when you touch the photograph of someone now gone, when you wake in the night to memories that won't sleep. I see you when the pain flares through your body, when the medicines pile high, when your steps slow and each one becomes a prayer. I see the way your faith clings, even if it trembles. You may feel like no one truly knows the weight you carry. The world no longer asks for your opinion like it once did. Your name might not be on the signs. Your voice may not echo through the halls of influence. But let me remind you, your worth is not defined by your usefulness. Your value was sealed the moment I breathed life into you. It is not diminished with age. If anything, it has deepened. There is wisdom in your years that cannot be taught, only lived. There is endurance in your bones that speaks to generations. There is a grace in your suffering that reflects my Son. I see that. I honor that. And I call others to see it too. I want you to understand, I never stop watching over you. Not one sleepless night escapes my notice. Not one sigh is too quiet for me. Even when you don't feel me, I am working in the hidden places. I am knitting your experiences into a testimony that echoes into eternity. What you have endured is not wasted. Your story is not over. If you are still here, it is because I am still writing something beautiful with your life. You may ask, "But Lord, why the silence? Why don't you speak to me like you once did?" My dear one, sometimes silence is not me withholding my voice. It's me holding space for you to trust. I want you to lean into my presence, not just my answers. There are moments when my quiet is not absence, but invitation. An invitation to sit with me in trust, to know me not just as the God who gives, but as the God who stays. You have given so much in your life. You've worked hard, loved deeply, and endured bravely. Now in this season, I am asking you to simply be, to rest in me, to lean into my heart, to know that your presence delights me. You do not need to earn my affection. You do not need to prove your faith. I love you because you are mine. That truth will never change. I see you in the nursing home. I see you in the quiet house. I see you at the edge of the hospital bed. I see you in the Sunday pew, even if you feel invisible. I see you when your mind is sharp, and I see you when memory fades. I see you when your body is strong, and I see you when it struggles. I never look away. Even if others forget your name, I never will. You are not a burden to me. You are not a relic of the past. You are my beloved. I still have purpose in you. I still speak through you. I still shine from you. And even now I am drawing people to myself through the testimony of your quiet faith, your long obedience, your simple trust. So hold on, my child. Let the silence be holy ground. Let it become the place where you feel me most intimately. Let it be a sanctuary, not a sentence. Let it be the place where you remember that I, the Lord of all creation, still see you. Every breath you take is a hymn to me. Every tear you shed waters seeds of eternal hope. You are seen. You are treasured. And I am not done with you yet. You've carried more than most will ever know. I have watched your back bend under the weight of responsibilities, watched your hands wear down with labor, and your heart stretch with love for those who sometimes didn't return it. You have endured storms, disappointments, betrayals, losses, and through it all, you pressed on. You held families together. You kept going when your body begged you to stop, and you smiled through pain because you thought you had to. But now, I want you to hear me clearly, perhaps more clearly than you ever have before. You were never meant to carry it all alone. Even in your younger years, when your strength seemed endless, it was always my breath that filled your lungs. Every ounce of strength you've ever had was mine, loaned to you so that you could live and love and serve. But now, in this season of your life, I am inviting you to a new kind of strength, not one that comes from your body or your willpower, but one that flows directly from my heart to yours. You see, there comes a point in every faithful soul's journey where the burdens grow too heavy to carry with human strength. And that is where my strength begins. You may feel it in your bones, the weariness that no nap seems to touch. You may feel it in your spirit, the weight of regrets, the ache of things left unsaid, the sorrow for things that couldn't be undone. And I say to you now, lay it down. Give it to me. Let me carry what you cannot. This is not weakness. This is worship. It is not failure to admit you are tired. It is not defeat to ask for help. You have done much and I am proud of you. But now, I am asking you to rest in my strength, to lean into my everlasting arms. I am strong enough to carry what you can no longer bear. And I do so gladly. Not out of duty, but out of love. There is no burden too big for me, no weight too complex, no sorrow too deep. You don't have to explain it all to me. I already know it. I was there when the grief first struck. I was beside you when the diagnosis came. I was in the room when you sat in silence, not knowing how to pray, only able to whisper my name. I was holding you when your legs could barely walk, and I carried your spirit when your heart was breaking. Even now, my strength surrounds you like a hidden current beneath still waters. When you rise and feel unsteady, I steady you. When your knees tremble, I lift you. When the tears come and no one is there to wipe them away, I bottle them as precious offerings. You may think others have forgotten, but I have not. I know the effort it takes just to get up some mornings. I know the courage behind every quiet, "Lord, help me." I know the exhaustion that others don't see, and I honor it. You do not need to pretend with me. You don't need to smile when you feel like breaking. I am not put off by your weariness. In fact, I draw nearer to the weak, because it is in your weakness that my glory shines brightest. It is in the places where you come to the end of yourself that I begin to show just how powerful I truly am. Do you remember when my servant Paul said, "When I am weak, then I am strong"? That was not poetic exaggeration. It was revelation. Because when you release the burden to me, when you stop striving to fix everything, when you admit you can't, then I come in. Then I pour out my spirit. Then I lift the weight off your shoulders and bear it myself. You may not see the full answer yet. You may not feel immediate relief. But trust me, I am already carrying what you cannot. I am working in the background. I am sending help. I am shifting hearts, opening doors, and creating paths where none existed. You are not abandoned. I have never left your side, not for a moment. Even when you questioned me, even when you felt like giving up, I was holding you tighter. I do not grow tired. I do not grow weary. My strength does not run dry, and I am pouring it into you right now. So rest, beloved. Let your soul exhale. You don't need to carry the future. You don't need to fix every problem. You don't need to pretend that you're fine when you're not. Let me be strong for you. Let me be your refuge and your fortress. I am not disappointed in your fatigue, I am drawn to it. Because it is in that place that you become most open to me. Come to me, all you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. That promise was not only for your youth. It is for now. It is for this moment, and it is for you. Let your burdens fall. Let your shoulders relax. Let your heart be still. I've got you, and I'm not letting go. My beloved, I created you with care not as a statue of stone, but as a soul of flesh. Soft, tender, fragile in some ways, yes, but never without worth. From your first breath, I knew that you would walk through seasons of strength and seasons of weakness. I saw it all ahead of time, and I loved you for all of it. You have spent much of your life trying to be strong for your family, for your children, for your spouse, for your community. You put on a brave face when your heart was breaking. You held back your tears so others wouldn't worry. You kept going when your body begged you to stop. And all of that courage has not gone unnoticed. I honor your strength. But now I call you to something deeper, something more eternal. I call you to vulnerability. The world tells you to be strong, to hold yourself together, to hide your pain because no one wants to hear it. But I, your creator, am not the world. I do not despise your weakness. I dwell in it. I do not step back when you cry. I step closer. In your vulnerability, you do not lose power, you find mine. You see, it was never about you carrying life on your own. I never expected you to be perfect. I never asked you to hide your fears from me. I designed you to need me. And when you open your hands and finally admit that you can't do it all, that's where my strength rushes in like a river. That's when my power floods the places where your own has run dry. My son wept. He grew tired. He felt sorrow and pain and even loneliness. But he never sinned. And in his humanity, he revealed something the world often forgets. To be vulnerable is not to be weak. It is to be real. It is to be open to me. Some of you have carried wounds for decades, hurts that were never spoken out loud, regrets that you buried deep because you didn't think you were allowed to grieve. And now, in this later season, those buried places stir again. You remember what was lost. You remember what you missed. And maybe for the first time, you're too tired to hide it anymore. That's not failure. That's invitation. Bring it all to me, every wound, every doubt, every question, every tear you kept hidden behind a polite smile. I already know. I've seen the entire story. And I am not ashamed of you. I'm not disappointed that you need me. In fact, I rejoice that your heart is finally soft enough to let me in. It is not easy to be vulnerable, especially when age has already stripped so much away. Your body doesn't respond like it used to. Your energy dips. People look at you differently, as if you've moved to the sidelines of life. But they do not see what I see. I see power in your openness. I see strength in your surrender. I see majesty in your fragility. When you stop pretending and simply say, God, I can't do this, that is not weakness, that is worship. That is the place where my power can fully rest upon you. That is the space where miracles begin. You've spent years showing others how to be strong. Now, I ask you to show them how to be real. Let the younger generations see what it means to cry out to me honestly. Let them witness how even the mightiest hearts can kneel and confess their need. Let them learn from your openness. Your vulnerability will become a teaching. Your honesty will become a testimony. Do not hide your pain. Speak of it. Share it with me. And when I heal those broken places slowly, gently, surely your healing will be a light for others walking the same path. This is not the end of your story. This is the sacred middle, the holy stretch where you stop striving and start surrendering. And I promise you, in that surrender, you will find joy again. Not the kind that demands your effort, but the kind that flows from simply being with me. You do not have to perform anymore. You do not have to hold everything together. That season is over. Now is the time for intimacy. Now is the time for resting in my arms like a child rests in the arms of their father. I am not asking you to prove yourself. I'm asking you to come closer. So if the tears fall, let them. If the memories rise, welcome them. If the ache deepens, speak it aloud to me. I can handle it. I am not scared of your truth. I am not offended by your questions. I am not weary of your honesty. You are safe here. You are heard here. You are loved here, not because you are perfect, but because you are mine. And hear this. When you are vulnerable with me, you are never alone. I surround you with my presence. I uphold you with my right hand. I carry you when your legs can no longer walk, and I hold you when your voice can no longer pray. I know the exact measure of your soul, and I delight in it even now, especially now. So let this be your sacred act today. Be open. Be real. Be unguarded before me. It is there in your honesty that my power will rise. Not just to comfort you, but to transform you. This is where you meet me. Not in your best performance, but in your most vulnerable place. This is holy ground, and I, your God, am here. My dear one, do not despise the quiet season you are in. Do not mistake this pause in your life for a permanent stillness. What feels like an ending is not the end. What feels like silence is not absence. This moment, this seemingly still, breath-held season, is sacred. It is not punishment. It is preparation. You have lived long. You have weathered many storms. You've seen generations rise and fall, homes built and emptied, friendships formed and faded. And now, the rhythm of your life has slowed. Days may seem longer. Nights might stretch a little more. You wonder if your work is done, if your voice still matters, if your presence still carries purpose. Let me answer you with absolute clarity. Yes, it does. This pause is not to sideline you. It is to prepare you. I am not finished writing your story. I never placed you in a holding pattern. I placed you in a sacred pause, one designed to restore, to deepen, to root you further in me, so that what comes next flows not from your effort, but from my spirit. Pause is not delay. Pause is power. Think of the soil in winter. It looks barren, empty, untouched. But beneath the surface, deep in the dark, the roots are reaching, the earth is healing, the seeds are preparing. That is what I am doing in you. Beneath what the world can see, I am nurturing the next bloom. I am working in silence. I am rebuilding what age has worn. I am strengthening what suffering has weakened. I am reminding you of what matters most. You are not forgotten in this pause. You are not overlooked. In fact, you are more present to me than ever. Do you remember how I rested after creation? I paused, not because I was weary, but because I was pleased. In the same way, I pause with you now, not because I am done, but because I am preparing for what's next. This rest is holy. This slowing is divine. You are not stuck. You are being held. You don't have to fill every moment with noise. You don't have to run around to prove you're still useful. Let this be the season where you allow me to love you quietly. Let this be the chapter where your stillness becomes worship, where your breath becomes prayer, where your presence alone is ministry. There is a rise coming. You may not feel it in your body, but it is rising in your spirit. I am renewing vision. I am stirring wisdom. I am awakening dreams you thought had died. No, they are not dead, they were planted. And now they rise, not with the frantic energy of youth, but with the deep assurance of faith that has been tested and found true. You do not need a platform to be powerful. You do not need a pulpit to be prophetic. The rise I am preparing in you is not for the applause of man, but for the glory of my kingdom. You will speak in small moments, and I will breathe through your words. You will pray quietly in your room, and I will move mountains. You will share a story from long ago, and I will use it to heal a heart near you. This is the rise I speak of, not in busyness, not in exhaustion, but in presence, in anointing, in legacy. Do not rush through this pause. Savor it. Embrace it. Sit with me here. Let me speak to you about things only age allows a soul to hear. Let me teach you not just truths for yourself, but wisdom for those who will come after you. You have nothing to prove. You are not running out of time. In my kingdom, age is not decline, it is deepening. The rise will come in my timing. Not by might, not by strength, but by my spirit. I am not calling you to more hustle. I am calling you to more holiness. This pause is sacred because I am in it. Your very breath is worship. Your very rest is obedience. And from this place of stillness, you will rise into the next purpose I have for you. You will comfort others with the comfort I gave you. You will bless others with the wisdom I poured into your journey. You will shine light on paths for others who still walk in shadow. And you will do it not with noise, but with peace. Not with striving, but with presence. Not with fear, but with me. So trust me in the pause. Let go of the idea that rising must look like activity. Let me show you that rising sometimes looks like being still enough for others to see me in you. I am the God who parts seas, who moves stones, who opens wombs, who raises the dead, and I am also the God who sits with the weary, who heals the heart, who speaks in whispers, and who prepares the soul in silence. You are rising even now, not upward in motion, but inward in glory. You are stepping into the beauty of stillness, and soon, when the time is right, you will rise again, stronger, clearer, more surrendered, more radiant. Until then, rest, breathe, be. I am here.